Emily Morgan was born in a small American town. She could not see the world with her eyes, but there was a strange light in her heart. Her parents had decided that their daughter would never feel inferior to anyone. One day, Emily was sitting on the carpet with her mother. Her mother began playing the guitar, and Emily slowly started humming along. It was the first day Emily's voice began to fill their home with magic. When Emily went to school, the children looked at her strangely and whispered among themselves. Some laughed, some showed pity, but Emily remained silent. Something inside her would break, but she never shattered completely. At night, when everyone had fallen asleep, Emily would spend quiet moments with her mother. She found comfort in her mother's touch and courage in her voice. In those moments, Emily was learning that even in darkness, light can be found. During the day, Emily would sing songs with her mother. Music had become her world, a world where she could feel everything without seeing. Her voice had become her path. At school, Emily was often bullied. Children mocked her blindness, but she endured it in silence. Deep inside, she carried a quiet strength that refused to let her give up. Whenever Emily sang, it wasn't just her mother who listened. The whole town would stop to hear her. People would gather outside the window, some with smiles on their faces, others with tears in their eyes. Her voice touched hearts. One evening, Emily's mother read her an advertisement for the biggest talent show in the country. Emily held her mother's hand and said, "I want to go, Mom. It's time for the world to hear my voice." In that moment, dreams held hands with courage. Emily, holding her mother's hand, was walking toward her dreams without seeing. She didn't know what lay ahead, but in her heart, there was a certainty that she would reach her destination. When Emily entered the audition hall, every eye turned toward her. Some were surprised, some doubtful. But Emily quietly walked toward the stage, as if she knew it was time to change everything. When Emily entered the audition hall, every eye turned toward her. Some were surprised, some doubtful. But Emily quietly walked toward the stage, as if she knew it was time to change everything. As soon as Emily sang her first word, the entire hall forgot to breathe. Her voice carried pain, love, and the truth of a dream. People began to cry, and the judges were lost in awe. As the song ended, a moment of silence filled the hall. Then suddenly, the entire crowd erupted in applause and cheers. Emily hadn't just sung a song. She had won hearts. As soon as Emily stepped off the stage, she ran straight into her mother's arms and nestled there. Her mother's eyes were filled with tears of joy, and her heart swelled with pride. When the host held the card in his hand and leaned toward the microphone to announce the result, Emily tightened her grip on her mother's hand. As soon as the host announced, "The winner is Emily Morgan," the entire hall erupted with cheers and applause. Golden confetti rained down from above, and Emily stood there frozen, caught between disbelief and overwhelming joy. As soon as the host announced, "The winner is Emily Morgan," the entire hall erupted with cheers and applause. Golden confetti filled the air, and Emily stood still, overwhelmed by a mix of surprise and joy. Emily held the trophy tightly in her hands, her head slightly bowed, a shy smile playing on her lips. The audience was still lost in the echo of applause, with some throwing flowers toward her. Behind the curtain, her mother stood with tears of joy in her eyes, her hand covering her mouth, as if the dream she had cherished all her life had finally come true. Outside the theater, a crowd had gathered. Reporters, holding microphones and cameras, surrounded Emily Morgan. Flashing lights dazzled her eyes, yet a shy smile played on her lips. She stood holding her trophy tightly with both hands, while her mother wrapped her in her arms, pride shining in her eyes and a hint of nervousness on her face. For both of them, this moment felt like a dream. Outside the theater, a crowd had gathered. Reporters with microphones and cameras surrounded young Emily Morgan. The camera flashes lit up the night, but her face was partly hidden behind the trophy she clutched tightly in both hands. Beside her, her mother held her close, pride shining in her eyes with a hint of nervousness. For them, This moment was nothing short of a dream. Leaning on her mother's hand for support, Emily slowly stepped into her home. The familiar scent in the air, old photographs on the walls, and a small cake placed on the table. Everything seemed to whisper, "Emily, you're home." Close relatives stood smiling, their eyes glistening with tears of joy. With her mother's hand guiding her, Emily slowly stepped inside her home. The familiar scent in the air, the old photographs on the walls, and the small cake on the table. Everything seemed to say, "Emily, you're home." Close relatives smiled warmly, their eyes filled with tears of joy. Emily gently touched the piano keys. Each note felt connected to the rhythm of her heartbeat. Her mother smiled quietly, knowing this moment was the beginning of a new chapter in Emily's life. After playing the final note, Emily gently lifted her fingers. A sweet silence filled the room, as if even time wanted to preserve this moment. Emily's story wasn't over. It was only the beginning, a journey that would always shine with the light of hope, courage, and love. In a warm, inspiring tone, deliver this line as if speaking directly to someone's heart, with slight pauses after each sentence for emotional impact. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe so we can bring you more heart-touching stories like this straight to you.